and transform your trading journey. Because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, just want to talk to you a little bit about the stock market. We're having volatility that they must be taking lessons from the old pork belly pits, but we probably had well over 1,500 points in the Dow Jones. These are actual swings, folks. You see these trades that were up here? This is only a 3-minute chart, but I had to check these. These are actual trades. You had the big ABCD down, and look at the swings that we're having. I mean, it's 200, 300, 400, 500. We've probably gone 1,500 points. I mean, that's a tremendous, tremendous move, and we're going higher now in the all these things. Plus, let's take a minute here to take a look at what we've had here in gold. We're up here at gold here, folks. We haven't seen this level since Hector was a pup, and that's up into here, right here. Now we had on a 4-hour chart. Let's get that up here. I believe that's the one we were looking at. Yeah, that was it. I believe this is the one we were paying attention to today. We had this big ABCD here. Shucks, hold on just a minute, and we'll draw it right up in here. You'll see there's your ABCD leg right there. Your old ABCD measured up to 70, and of course it didn't get there. And well, then it went through it quite a bit, so that would have been a losing trade because we only used $10 on it. We're already up to 1582. There is another one right behind it here that is getting ready to fill pretty closely here. We'll draw that in, and we'll see. Well, it's already through. That one doesn't look like correct. Just they're already. It's just going too much higher. And silver has gone through the 78% level on the daily basis, and that's why. Yeah, there was a number we were looking at 1572, and we were certainly stopped out of that. We'll look at it at another time. But we did have a couple of really great setups this morning. I'll bring one to you. These are the things that we hope we're going to see. This is the wheat, because we had an absolute beautiful pattern here in the December wheat. As you'll see here, we'll look at this daily, and we'll move it over just a little bit because this is what we want to see right here. We were right at, let me put this, I think it was an hourly chart. Let's just double check it. Hold on one second. Give me a 4-hour chart. I had so much stuff going on today, folks. There's the one. There's the ABCD right here on the December wheat, and I hear somebody calling in. I hear somebody talking in the background. I don't know what that is. Anyway, this was the area right here. Was at 92. I'm sorry for the data problem, folks, but we've had a big run up here this morning. But anyway, this was the area to sell. It was 592. I sent it out. I hope you got it. And then it dropped well over 20 cents, which would have been your first profit objective. Also, we wanted to be watching this crude oil, folks. I've been able to find out a couple things that have been very helpful to me trading wise, and I'm going to be sharing with the folks tomorrow in the thing. And it's related to the 382. Now this is crude oil. If you remember, we've been really friendly to this after this low was made down in here. Remember, that was the first buy right here. Then we had one more chance to buy it again. And each one of these retracements, folks, I know you find this hard to believe, but each one of these retracements was a 382 off of a previous swing. There was one here, and then there was another one right there. And that's the way that the trend is determined on some of these things when you're short-term trading. But these were tremendous moves, folks. This is $2,000 in 2 hours. these are really big moves. I hope we're going to be able to do some of those on Friday, but this 382 has really got me compelled to look at it as closely as I possibly can, because I do short-term trading. When you have a really strong trending market, you're going to get these types of moves. Speaking of strong trending markets, let's take a look at this one right here. We've got two of them. Well, let's look at the Nasdaq, because that's the one that's been jumping around the most. Now, here's the Nasdaq this morning. Now, you can see here we had all of these moves right here. We don't have a 382 here anywhere. I thought there might be, but there isn't, because you can see the pullback comes. It's going to be at the 61% retracement. Oh, there is one right here, but this is a really small one. This is the one, just like in the Dow Jones yesterday. It gives you one more chance to get in, and that's this little pullback on this 382 right now. But you can see it went actually to the 50%, and now we're heading higher. This would tell us that at least for today, and this is a very short-term perspective here on the Nasdaq, is that we should make this move right here, and we'll get it right up, and you'll be able to see it without too much trouble. That would take us up here. Well, it's not very far away. It's only about 60 points. And when you're going 150, 200, 300 points in the swing, look, from here, from 93, that we drop 150 points, up 150 points. I mean, this is to make another 50 points. That's nothing. I mean, that's real easy. And the S&P is still moving higher. We're up at 55.85. We've shattered those highs from last night. And look what we're doing right now on a 4-minute chart. Oh boy, guess you got to get the old sell signal ready, because this is going to be what they call an AB equals CD. And boy, if you can't do this, you can't do any of them. There's your AB, there's your CD, and we're really close. 55.92, so pay attention to that. That is where I will be taking a little bit of a gander on the, easy peasy. Absolutely. 55.92 is what we're going to do, and then we're going to risk about 8 points on that, because it should work. If it doesn't, then look out. So here's another one of those little tiny 382 patterns here where the market's really starting to trend. When you see that, same way here on the downside. There's your 382 on the downside. So they're not easy to catch, folks, but when you do catch them, they're worth a lot of bread, as they say in the trade. Okay. All right, we're still going higher here. We're up in the S&P. Oh, here I think the S&P has made. It's ABCD. Let's just double check it here. Well, there's two ways to do it. Well, you have to do it this way, because this is the real swing right there. We've already went substantially above it, but there was another pattern right behind it, and we're way above that one too. So if you'd have done if you'd have done this trade, which I probably would have, if I've been watching it, you would have lost. So sometimes they win, sometimes they lose. The one in the S&P, that's got game as far as I can see. I mean, it's really lined up really nicely to get up to that level. It'll probably be there while we're on the air, because we're only talking about another 5-6 points, and we're going to see if we're going to do that. This would be the kind of trade that I'd be looking at. I'd be looking to be a buyer at this 618 this morning too, after the big run up like this, and then the pullback right at this, especially right here. My goodness, it tells you it wanted to go, a great deal higher. So anyway, a lot of activity, more than we've seen in a long time, both yesterday and today. And this is just going to get more and more, folks. Get ready, because they're starting to rock and roll, and it is not going to stop in one day. I can promise you that.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-873-7618.
This chart here from Rich Anderson, where the silver gold ratio is about as low as it's ever been, and silver's going much, much faster than gold today. It's really moving quite rapidly, as is gold, but this is what we're watching. Here's what I wanted to spend just a moment with you. Remember, we had this lunar chart that was sent to us by the Elliott Wave folks. All I wanted to do was to show you the swings. Now, remember, this was September the 3rd, and this was the 29th. This was the actual stock market crash day, was right here. That was we had a bad day before that, but this was the worst day right here, October 29th. That's when they wiped out all of this. But then the market rallied, and this rallied was a 382 off of that high right here. And then the market bottomed on November the 23rd, I believe, right before Thanksgiving, and it rallied up into April the 1st. It rallied 4 months, just shy of about 20 points of the exact 61% retracement. It was like 59.8%, and it should have been 61.8 if it could have. Anyway, from 4/1/1929, and didn't bottom until July the 8th, 1932. The high had been 383, and it bottomed at, I believe, 42 on that day in January, or let me see what. It was July 8th of 1932. We didn't take this high out, folks, for 27 years. That's what happened. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I'm watching these things. The type of stuff that we're seeing like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, it's awfully reminiscent of what we're looking at up here, folks. So let's don't throw the chicken out, how do they call it, chicken out without the baby, whatever it means, I don't know. Anyway, that's what we're looking at. So we'll see if that means anything. Hold on one second. We'll get up here. I think we're almost, did we get to our number here? No, we only got to, what did we get to? We only got to 90 so far. Well, it'll be there, so just be patient. Got to 90 right here. Now, one other thing that I did want to mention to you, hold on one second here and we'll get up here to find it here, is in the crude oil market. I wanted to show you, no, it was in the gold market. Sorry, just a second, because I was doing some work early this morning in gold because of all these swings that were going on. And all I did is I went down to a smaller time frame. I think I did 3 minutes. I hope I did. Nope, it wasn't 3. Let's go 4 maybe. This is the one I wanted. Yes, this is the one I want to see. Okay, last night, right here, we were making, this was at 8:30 this morning when the market, we had the reports coming out, right? This was a 382 retracement right here. The market rallied all the way up and then came back and made another 382 retracement, okay? And then it made another 382 retracement of this move right here. And that's where I got the idea of 25.72 that didn't quite work out too well, but that's neither here nor there. Sometimes there are winners. There's a 382 again, and there's a 382 again. This is where the trend changes once it broke through it. But again, we went back and touched the high. I think we made a new high. Let's double check. That high was 36.40, and this would have been, no, this was the same. These were exactly the same high. So anyway, that's just showing the value of the 382 in really strong trending markets, both up and down. And that's why we watch them so very, very closely. Okay, now the question, the $64 question is, did we miss the price? I don't think so. It didn't take this trip for no reason, so why wouldn't it not make it? That's where you run into problems. Better get in early. Well, you're going to give them back another $250, and now your risk, instead of being $300 or $350, is going to be $850. That's not fun. Okay? So let's remind ourselves of that. Try to be patient, and believe me, you're asking someone who doesn't know how to be patient to tell you to do that, but that's how things go. So we'll wait and see how things come out. All right, let's take a look here at the soybean meal market. We had a request from one of our farmers out there in Kansas. We're going to look at soybean meal was setting right at the old 382 this morning for a little bit. I think it probably got there. Yeah, I think that was it. Hold on. Here's where we are. Okay, here's where we're going back to this way back here. We were thinking it was going to get up to, they made this big report that came out. Yeah, there was your, hold on one second. There was your 382 right here. Here was your 50%. You came all the way down and then all the way back. This was down first and then up. Let's look at it the way it was. Put out the 13-minute chart. See, it was down first and then up. So when we had this up move like this gave us an ABC to the downside. But folks, you have to be an absolute magician, and you only have to be trading the soybean meal. You can't be watching things that are all at the same time. Oh, shut the front door. Just a minute. There's where we are. There's your ABCD move right here. It measures to 18, and from there it rallies up to 25, and now it's just setting in that range here, doing very little. So this should be a pretty good topping action. In fact, if I had the druthers, I'd be looking to sell the soybean here at around 32. 324, something like that, with a stop around 326. It looks like it has some resistance coming in at that point. And boys and girls, we're really close now in the old S&P, and the S&P is there now. So we've got game, as they say in the trade. And here she goes, rocking and rolling, and we won't look at it anymore for a while. Let's go over and see if we can this will be one that you'll probably regret doing, but you got to do them all because you don't know which ones are going to work. See, here's the number in the Nasdaq. It's still it's 30 handles away, but we've made it in the S&P. So that's the one you have to trade. So you sold that at 92.5, and you put your stop at 97.5. And if you're wrong, you're going to lose $250. And if you're right, you'll be a happy camper. And if not, you won't be a happy camper. That's the bottom line of what we're looking at. So what I'll do now is I'll come over here and I will put the old stop in there right about there so nobody will yell at and scream at me if I stop and think, folks. This is a $250,000 contract and you're only risking $250. You can't beat that. Someone's asked a question before about, do I still think this is possible? Yes, I do. I really do. We're seeing the same type of action like we saw in 87, wild action. And wild action brings us to where we're coming. And believe me, we've got these dates. If you remember, the date that the Fed's coming out here is next we have a lunar eclipse at perigee, means the Earth is close to the moon as it gets. And that's super big, because even on days you see when we do those cycles for the stock market, sometimes they're off by a little bit. Boy, when you have perigee lined up with it, then that's a totally different ball game. So let's remind ourselves of that. Let's get the old clock on the wall here and see where we are. Where are we at? Come on, clock on the wall. Where we are right here. And hopefully we're going to have Jeff Hughes. If Jeff can't make it because he's not able to get on Skype, call in because of the phone problems we're having, then we'll get that all straightened out without too much trouble. But frankly, folks, I haven't seen this much volatility in the market in a very, very long time. And that one that we did yesterday in the Dow Jones, when it was making that huge bottom. We got to take a break here. 877-927-6648. Let's stay tuned for Jeff Hughes.
The Gold Report. As a precious metal, gold is still king. It continues to hold the most effective safe haven and hedging properties across the global major trading hubs of the London OTC market, the US futures market, and the Shanghai Gold Exchange. The Gold Report. Tom O'Brien publishes his weekly gold report every Monday morning for subscribers, consisting of coverage of the XAU, HUI, GDX, the dollar, bonds, the South African rand, as well as 25 different mining equities with specific buy-sell recommendations. The Gold Report. New subscribers get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. Subscribe to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report newsletter now at TFNN.com.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
On the line from Alpha Insights. Jeff, are you there? Well, I guess not. So we're going to have to go to something else. So bear with me here, folks. I will reconfigure everything and get us back into where we're... Hold on here. Let's move up here. Let's go and take a look at the Treasury bonds, because we had a very nice trade going in Treasury bonds. It's starting to work pretty good. As you can see here, there it is right now. This was over the last few days. Remember, we sold this at 126.90. Our first profit objective was right here. It rallied up to the 61% retracement. It's perfect, and now it's coming down even more. Now, what I did was, because it made the original $500, I took the $500 off right here when we had the report come out, okay? Then it had the rally. I didn't touch it again. Last night, not the time when I was awake, and we got up here to 126. I mentioned this in the newsletter that I sent out, or the video that I sent out. But anyway, that's really what that's looking at. That's telling us that we've got an ABCD down at this level. But folks, I really think I think this has the possibility of being a real game changer. Let me show you why. As you come up here and look at the most actively traded thing that we have on the board, which is the Treasury notes. I'm going to bring the Treasury notes up. I showed you before, but I think it's important. And there's the number we were looking at. We're still there again. That number came in at 13. You can see it right here. There's the ABCD of this move right here. This is the first ABCD major one in 4 years. 2020 was the last time we had a small ABCD. This is a major one. And we have not gone above that level as of yet. We made a higher high today, folks, believe it or not, by 2 pips. And then it started to back off. I think this is the game changer. I don't know what's going to happen with the Fed. I'm sure they're going to drop interest rates because everybody's telling them that's what they're going to do. So we'll have to wait and see. But anyway, that's what I'm watching on this. Now, the bonds went, there. Look, you can see where there's the Treasury notes right here. Let's just get this up to see how little they've moved. Watch. Well, wow, it's a little more than I thought. Well, this is because of 23. Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, here's where we are, 02. We got up to our level right here. We did not make a higher high today, I don't believe. Yeah, we did not, because there was the big break yesterday. There's the ABCD, the same thing like we're looking at right here. So it's still moving lower. The thing is, this is only $16.25 per tick, whereas the Dow Jones bonds are 31.25. So that's why the bonds have more volatility in their thing. But more people trade this. There's five or six times the open interest in this as there are the bonds. You've got to pay attention to it, because it follows the numbers. You can see the bond stopped at the 618. The notes went to the 786. Okay, so if you trade the bonds, you got to follow what those numbers are, from my opinion. Okay, now we've had a question about Apple. Just give me a second, and we'll get it up here. And take a question right here, and here's where we are. All right, here's Apple. This is the weekly, but we're going to look at it a little bit better than that. We're going to come down to the hourly chart and see how we're doing here recently. Okay, here's the last few days. Now, we have to watch Goldman Sachs too, because that's really an important one. There can see it went a little above the 50% level. All it's done so far in this last day or two, and I'm talking from September 3rd, we'll move this over. There was your high. Okay, you made a lower low, so you have to recalculate the 382. That's where it's trading right now. That's where Apple is trading right, up about $3 or $4 on the day, but that's where it's spot on trading. So we want to look at I know they always ask the same thing, but because you asked for it, I try to give it to you, and that's Tesla. Get this up here, right here. That has been under pressure. I don't know if it's it's coming back pretty good. This is good. All right, let me change these crazy candles. reset defaults. There we go. Here's where we want to be. Okay, move this over like this. And I want to take out this thing because it's not doing its job. Okay, here's where we are. Now, we had the move down just to see where we are. It follows these numbers very beautiful. This is a weekly. Oh, what am I doing weekly? Let's go to a daily. Come on, Larry. Okay, here's the daily. There was our 61%. Okay, we came down and we're right back up against near the 78% level of this move right here. So let's just go to the hourly chart so we can double check that. And there it is right there. It's sitting right at the 786 right now as we speak. And there's also a very clean looking ABCD here, up about $2 higher than where it could be right now, but it's acting incredibly well. But boy, folks, with the volatility we're seeing in these markets, shut the front door and raise a mint. There's a lot of it. So let's move on here and get this out of the way. Hold on one second, get the Apple out of the way. And we had one other question on a stock. Let me get over here. And it's one that's Goldman Sachs. And the question I have to do is just show you this because this was the reason where the Dow gapped down 600 points on Tuesday because of this. Let me get this daily up so we'll be able to see it. Okay, here's Goldman Sachs. Now we had the big break. I pointed this out to you. We stopped. Let's just get this, clean this up so we can look at it real quick. Okay, there's the low. This is the big day down. It dropped from 490, dropped 30 points in Goldman Sachs, and it stopped right. Shut the front door. Raise them in. It stopped exact. Let me excuse me, folks. I have to get rid of this stuff that's in here that I don't use very often, and I just want to show you where we are. Okay, blow it up a little bit. Yesterday's low, where the rally started. This is where the whole thing started with Goldman Sachs. Was just a tiny bit below the 61% retracement, but we had made an ABCD on this also. And now we've had a little bit of a rally, and that's what's given it, why these things are jumping around so doggone much, because you don't know which ones are going to work and which ones aren't. You just have to flat out do them. So I think if we looked at this on a smaller time frame, there's what I want to see. See this big breakdown? Now here's where we are today. On the rally back, all Goldman Sachs is looking at here. Well, there went our trade in the S&P. That one didn't work, so hopefully we'll make up for it on Friday, but it doesn't count today for sure. Anyway, that's a quick $250 gone, but you have to do it. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I imagine that, and I'm not going to, second guess anything, but we haven't quite made the number here in the Nasdaq. You see, the Nasdaq is still up here. That's probably why it's going around. I don't want to risk, just more than just $250. All I'm willing to risk in this, folks. That's why I have my stop in, and it's done. Pretty much what I want to be able to see it doing. Okay. All right. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. 877-927-6648. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The stock market is a delicate, interconnecting web of commodities, equities, and trader psychology. When one string of the web is pulled, it has a ripple effect across the broader market. This is where opportunity lies. But how are you to gather all of this information into one cohesive model when you're already spending your energy looking for any possible trade opportunities? Luckily, you don't have to worry about that, as Tom O'Brien has brought all important market news to you in one single newsletter, Market Insights. Market Insights provides a daily overview of what's happening in the indexes, bonds, gold, and more. Follow along with Tom daily as he analyzes the components that affect the overall movement of the stock market, giving insight into how each one plays either a bullish or bearish role. Tom also analyzes specific equities that he believes has the potential to make huge returns, and his track record proves his analysis right. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Don't let the market leave you in the dust.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, someone asked a question, would I do the Nasdaq if it made its objective here up about another 20 points? I don't trade the Nasdaq very much, so the answer to that, the pattern's correct, but I just don't like trading the Nasdaq because of this wild stuff that happens now. It's not acting wild right now, so at that point, if you sold it at 43, you could put a stop at 63 and risk $400 if you wanted to do that. So that's really what I'm paying close attention to as I'm watching some of these things here, unfold here each day. Now, I don't always make money every day, but some days I do better than others. But overall, I hang in there pretty good. We'll have a good day tomorrow, I think, because the volatility that we're seeing here, oh my goodness, you just cannot imagine. Let me just show you today's volatility. I was watching this because this was early this morning. Now we like ABCDs. Look at your ABCD pattern right here, folks. Comes in right at. Remember, this is it's only a few minutes, but this is how these markets are be able to make these huge gyrations. There's your exact 61% retracement. Then the market goes up, has a huge run, and then comes all the way back down. So what you have to do is you got to recalculate to see what that's going to be, and it's going to be, again, right at the 61, and it stays there for 20 minutes, folks. 16 minutes. So, 20 is counting that one. So when you see that much, the fellows, they're on those computers, they know what these are, and then away you go, and that's what leads to this potential pattern right up here. They're at 44. I've got the limit minder up in there to take a look at it, so we're going to find out if it's. Someone asked me why I don't use a 10-point stop on the S&P. Many times I do, but that market that's so perfect up there, I said, well, that's all I want to risk, because I know some of you people have put that in at $250, and $250 you can make that up in a heartbeat. $500, maybe not so much. That was my subjective determination of risk, and I don't even know where's it. It still did it get there? No, it never really got. The high was 98. Well, it's trading at 97, so it's still underwater 5 cents. So I would not have a 10-cent stop on this, just because of the reason that I told you. I would tell you this: if this were trading right here, and the S&P were at that point right there, then I would have a 10-point stop on both of them. But I already put the S&P on at 92 and a half, and so I didn't want to risk any more than that. So all I'm trying to give you is to how these markets are operating. Boy, if you study these markets, they're no mystery, folks. Believe me, they follow these patterns just like clockwork. And when you watch them real closely, that's why when you do catch one, it can really be a really big one. But you just never know whether that one's going to come up or not. It's just one thing or another. Let me show you silver, because this has been a big move today in silver. I mean, it's up huge, way over $1. Here's where we are. We went through the 786 like it didn't exist. Oh, it's back to it. Sorry, beg your pardon. There was your 786 here in the silver, right up here at 309. That's where it's trading right now. The high has been 317, so it went 6 cents higher, 7 cents higher than the 786. And I'm not sure that that's going to be the case. But stop and think. Gold is way up here in the stratosphere, folks, and this is where we are with silver. Silver's been lagging so very badly, and but it has a tendency to catch up. You can see here today, folks, that we're up $1.40 today in silver is what our move is today. Now let's just look and see. I haven't looked. I'm going to put the 4-minute up to see if we can see a 382 here. Oh, we're not going to be able to see much here because this is when it started here this morning. There's no 382 here. There might be one, but it's really hard to see. There's such little. Well, there is one right here. Let's move it. Remember, each one of these swings here, you're talking. See, from there to there, you're talking. Wow, that's $3,000. So there's got to be one right here. So this was the low. You pull back. There's your first 382 pattern right here. Takes 8 minutes to come down. Boom. Okay, then it goes back and makes another new high. So you've got to go back and check the next one out. There's your 382 again, and it just keeps going and going and going, and there's no 382s in it. It just keeps going higher, so you can't stand in front of them. This happens to be the 786 on the daily. Now that it does happen to do that, so the risk there, if you wanted to sell it, is about 8 cents. But wow, you have to be really strong-willed to sell that one, I would think, wouldn't you think? Unless you have 8 cents to risk, and then you can do it. All right, let's move on and talk about the British pound, because we've been doing some pretty good things in the British pound, and we'll brought it up here, right here. Okay, it's still going down. That's what we want to see. We sold it right back here. We made our target today, folks. Let me put this down. I did say if we got to 30, that was a place to pull it back. Move this over here. There's your ABCD pattern coming in. There's your 382 right here. You can see the ABCD. We'll just draw it in from the low right back here. There was the big high. That was your 1.618 number over here. And then you come down. Your ABCD measures to right about there. Your 382 came in at 30, 30.05, 30.35, like that. And we went just a tad under 30. Remember, we mentioned 30 would be some pretty good strong resistance, and we made 300 points on that, folks. That's a pretty good move in the British pound, given the fact that it trades very nicely. It doesn't you don't find any real crazy stuff in here, and it's one of the better ones right now. Now it's got a pretty good move. $64 question is, where do we go next? So we go to the hourly chart, and you'll see, guess what's happening today? Looks like we're making a 382 already, isn't it? There's our high, and we just made it just now. We just made a 382 on the British pound, and that move went from 30 even up to around about 90 points. So this should be some resistance coming in. We had one here, but I don't think that made the 382 because it missed it by quite a bit. But this one we missed. You see, it didn't get there. That one we missed. This one it got to. Okay. Now you did make a 1618 off of this, I believe. Your high to low. Yeah, that missed it by a little bit too. Hold on. How much did it miss it? Oh, missed it by 5 pips. So that's pretty good bottom down in here. That's why that number was so good. Right at 130. That's why it looked so attractive at that particular time. Okay, let's move on here to the next one, and we'll take a quick look. Oh, we're almost here in the old Nasdaq, folks. We're only 4 or 5 points away. Let's see how the S&P is doing. It's probably, see, the S&P is already at 60, so that would have taken us out anyway. Here's your Nasdaq right here. Here's the Nasdaq right now hitting the number as we speak, and this that number is at 44. We haven't quite got there yet, but let's see if it holds it. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. The number has got to 42.5. Let's see if we're going to get there here in the next few minutes. But this is what I try to do to control risk, folks. That's really what my whole game plan is to keep the risk as near as I can to without breaking the bank, which you don't have to if you use a stop. Hey, let's take a break. 877-927-6648.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pros pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den, hosted at Discord. TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Made new highs on the day. That's unbelievable, the swings we've had. Makes yesterday look like an almost nothing day. This was a beautiful 1-3-5 pattern right in here. That's perfect. 1-3-5, beautiful pullbacks, 7-8-6, 6-1-8, and boom, there was your objective. And of course, you went through that, right away, and see what happens. But anyway, the Nasdaq did go quite a bit above the number we were looking at. Is already 10 points above it, I believe. And again, I wouldn't be doing these because of the fact that they're all strong. And not only that, but you're halfway, 2 hours to go. You're way above the opening price. So I tried it once. gave him $250. I said, thank you very much. And I moved on and wait to see what's going to happen next as I watch some of these things keep moving on today. Now, tomorrow will be our live trading from 9 till noon. We should have a pretty good day. We had a good session last on the 25th. We had a really, we caught that. Actually, what we did was we did this same trade in the S&P that worked for, I think, 30 handles. And that was on the Friday, what day was that? That was September. Are we in September already? Oh my gosh, that was August, what? That was the 23rd. That was the 23rd of August. I believe it seems like two lifetimes ago. But tomorrow will be a lot of fun and still heading higher. Folks, the good part about all this is look up at the sky and say, thank you, dear God, for giving us all this volatility, because this is what patterns are made for. And yeah, they don't work all the time, but nothing else does either. So just be prepared, because there's going to be some really big volatile things happening. What happened in the stock market yesterday is just the beginning. I mean, we've said from the very beginning this year is going to be more volatile than anything they've ever seen, and we're only 9 months into it. So we're going to see on the flip side tomorrow, except that I won't be on the show. I don't believe. I'll be too tired probably, but I'll try. So stay tuned. We'll have a little market update in a little bit, and may God bless. We'll be right back.